We were told about a project that was going to be run looking at heritage at risk in Lincolnshire. And so therefore I put my name down and gained some training and did the village of Pinchbeck.
Well, through being a friend of Heritage Lincolnshire, been a friend for, well, since they first started actually, when that was about 1990.
I felt this would be useful for me because I just retired. I had a lifetime in construction and historical buildings, and I felt this would be a good programme for me to do during those years to keep me busy.
I've done a bit of work on listed buildings as part of the Lincolnshire Historic Buildings Committee, but this would open new avenues for me.
I knew some of the area before because I was brought up in Lincolnshire, but it was completely new to you, wasn't it?
As a northerner.
As a northerner. So we thought it would take us probably to places that we wouldn't go to.
It was an interest that took over to some extent, and that motivated me.
Going out as a couple, I think that made it easier.
Yeah, sure it did, yeah.
Because we would stand there, one of us would have the list of things that we'd got to look at, and we'd sort of tick them off as we went along. So we'd got four hands rather than just two to carry all the paperwork to start with.
So I got one or two fleas in the ear, but mostly people are much prouder of their buildings now than when I first started looking at listed buildings.
So after a while, you sort of you get to know what to look for, and you get in a routine, and the confidence goes from there.
Meeting people, I think, meeting people who love their building and wanted to do it right.
It made me understand the town, its people, its history.
We do a few surveys in the morning. Perhaps have a nice pub lunch, and try and do a few in the afternoon, which weren't quite as accurate as the morning ones.
Working out of doors, doing something new.
It was a nice way to get out of the house, a nice way to discover the area we moved into, and enjoy that experience, whilst at the same time feeling we were doing something that was of some use.
I felt that the diverse team of the volunteers and the members here in Heckington, in terms of knowledge, age, experience, was a useful attribute to the volunteering process. In other words, you weren't necessarily trying to recruit chartered building surveyors, you were trying to recruit people who would learn a lot themselves and still enjoy what they're doing.
I was meeting people who were doing a like task to myself, same sort of interests, and I thought that was very fulfilling.
It's also been good at the various social events you have, which I think are excellent. They pull people together as well. And you get together with people, they're, how are you doing, and what have you been doing surveys recently? And it's a great feeling of togetherness.
We had newsletters, which was one means. We were also encouraged if there were any problems to either telephone or come into the office, and so yes, there was a good support system.
Regular newsletters and emails and things. So yeah, I think we've pretty well always known what's going on and how far things have got and how we need to get our finger out and do a few more surveys.
Information was good. The regular newsletters were useful. It certainly helped me, because if I lost track a little bit, it put me back on track.
I got more emails from you guys from my various wine clubs, That's how much I got.
I'm getting a bit old actually, but yes, I would volunteer anything to do with Heritage of Lincolnshire.
This should, hopefully, if it can be taken to the next stage, be a terrific boost to the county and other counties if they manage to start them.
I think we'll miss this project now that it's finishing. So if there's something else on the horizon, I'm sure you'll be interested.
I heard about the Heritage at Risk project from on the internet. I was pointed it in the direction of it through a family friend who was actually a conservation officer for East Lindsey Council, and from there I sort of registered and got involved and went along to a training day. I hadn't done any volunteering before the Heritage at Risk project, but following on from the Heritage Risk project, I was inspired to go on and do more volunteering and carried on within the heritage field. My time with the Heritage Risk project was incredibly enlightening. I went on to do a university degree within heritage and landscape archaeology, and in fact I now currently work for the Heritage Trust of Lincolnshire as a heritage project officer.
I took part in the Hands on Heritage Expedition 2012 and just wanted to say thank you so much for the 3 days. I returned from university today for a reading week, and in the post was the expedition diary. It's only now that I have realised just how much the 3 days meant to me. We all had such a great time, and you couldn't have made it any more exciting or informative. It was perfect. I really appreciate that you gave me a place on the expedition, and I'm now completely committed to a future career in building surveying in the heritage sector.